Welcome to Hagure Yuusha no Estetica. The show starts off with this dude Naruto running and being chased by these maid cafe workers. And his name is Akatsuki. No, not that Akatsuki. He gets cornered and the head maid tells him that they need to bring him back alive and prevent him from going back to his world.
You're going nowhere.
He steals all their underwear because he's the hentai kamen. And leader maid fights him 1v1. We cut after the fight where this yellow-haired bitch grabs his hand and she cries because he's going back to Earth after defeating the demon lord. And he tells her not to worry, and if ever she's in trouble, just call his name and he'll come rescue her like Superman. Then he passes through the portal and opens his bag, and there's a pink-haired bitch inside that he kidnapped.
Hold up, wait a minute.
He then tells her that they're in his house in his world.
Something ain't right.
The next morning comes where they ride this Uber, and he tells her about lying on being his long-lost sister so that they can enroll on this prestigious magic school called Babel. They arrive in the hospital and they do some physical examination on the bitch. The test results came back and we see these unlockable characters talking about Akatsuki's test results on being a hero overlord or some shit. The pair proceeds to this battle room where this instructor tests their abilities, and the pink-haired bitch easily claps his ass. After the fight, this white-haired fuckboy shows up and he's going to be his examiner for today. He then attacks the bitch using his magic ice dildo.
Ooh, that's kinda small.
And he says, I heard that you're going to use your bare hands on fighting, but if you manage to suck or break this ice dildo using your bare hands, then I will let you into this school. That's easy, and after I do it, I'm gonna beat your ass with these bare hands, boy. He then does a 1-inch punch Bruce Lee style, and white-hair fuckboy acknowledges his skills and welcomes them to the school of Babel as students.
Welcome.
And we see him lusting over Akatsuki's Rinnegan power. The pair heads home and we see this flashback that the pink-haired bitch is the demon lord's daughter. The next day comes where all the students stares at them because they're kind of a hotshot for demolishing the instructor.
Okay, you win!
He takes a seat in this corner, then this bitch warned him about the guy who's sitting there and his name is Onizuka. And no, not the great teacher. Onizuka arrives and Akatsuki whips his ass. He was then called for disciplinary action because of bullying. He waits in the trial room and the student council committee arrives, and they warn him about sitting in the president's chair, aka the white-haired fuckboy. The president arrives and Akatsuki pranks on attacking him, and his bodyguards goes for self-defense using the avatar's power.
Earth, fire, air.
This edgy bitch warns him about his bullying.
Stop bullying!
And they will use lethal force on punishing him next time. Then this lolly picks him up because it's PE time. Then fan service happens, where he stole the bitch's underwear, and where they get stuck in this PE room and see this lesbian or Lebanese having sex, and we skip that.
Why are you gay?
The next day comes where the lolly president is getting grilled by this student council bitch
Look at me eyes! Not as best as I am!
because of the pissing in the PE room incident.
Disgusting!
Akatsuki notices that she's ignoring her friends and decides to help her on how to understand other people's feelings. Meanwhile, the student council retards plans on giving a rough punishment on Akatsuki for his perverted acts. And white-haired fuckboy tells them that he can handle him alone. We jump to the next morning where they are doing a practice battle, where they summon a low-budget griffin. Meanwhile, Akatsuki fights Onizuka 1v1 and shows his sigma male attitude. On the other hand, the griffin goes wild and the three bitches tries to stop it, but the lolly and the Lebanese ends up being petrified by its feather skill. Where the fuck are your teachers? Aren't they the ones who are supposed to deal with this? These fucking retarded teachers are too weak and irresponsible, man. Anyway, the pink-haired bitch was about to get cocked, but Akatsuki comes just in time to save the bitch, and he summons a low-budget gut sword. He fights the griffin and beats it, and undoes all the petrification skill. We then see the student council retards gatekeeping Akatsuki from joining the class A because of his skill.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
After the incident, Akatsuki confronts hentai protagonist here and tells him, I knew it that you caused all this commotion, and you tried to blame it on the bully Onizuka by hacking his card. Hentai protagonist attacks Akatsuki for discovering his secret. The two men fight and hentai protagonist tries a suicidal spell that can collapse the entire school, but white-haired fuckboy stops him using his ice dildo.
That's quite big.
The next morning comes where the pair saw this cocoon group on the news, and Akatsuki gets pumped up. Then in school, the pink-haired bitch asks, "Do you guys know what the fuck is this cocoon group?" They're basically the strongest children soldiers on the planet, stronger than ISIS, CCP, or Al-Qaeda. We then cut to the rooftop where Akatsuki meets this new fuckboy.
Walk fuckboy.
And he greets him with a surprise attack, but Akatsuki uses some Steven Seagal moves to show him who's the boss.
Can I laugh in your face?
And this fuckboy's name is Kaido. No, not that Kaido. And this episode is just a filler fan service where the bitches buy some underwear and we skip that. We then cut to the next episode where this hotel is under high surveillance because of bomb threats and 9/11 2.0. And we see white-haired fuckboy reporting another casualties. And he's Simp raising the hotel security level. We jump back to the school where Akatsuki was dragged by Kaido and introduced him to his dad. And he said, "Dad, I brought this Simp here to give it a try. I can still smell some Simp in him. His testosterone levels aren't high enough. You're only wasting your time." Akatsuki then touches this covered thing and he gets knocked back.
You wanna play a little game?
The cloth gets destroyed and it's a bat bike? Bat cycle? I don't know, it's Batman's motorcycle. And his dad says that this bad boy only runs through spirit energy and it has a 17 million horsepower.
It goes fast. That's what that means. You dumb bitch.
And the problem is it chooses a successor to ride it. And the only person who ride it was Akatsuki's dad and his name is Pain. He then gets motivated as he learned this and manages to tame the bike, just like the Ghost Rider. Then Sigma Male dad gives it to him as a gift because his dad previously owned it. And this student council whore tries to confiscate it, but it backfired and ripped her clothes off. She was then called for backup because one of the Babel buildings is being held as hostage. Then the student council gang sneaks into the building to save the hostages. Then through careful planning and execution, they manage to save the hostages except for this dumb kid. The criminals use this kid as a leverage to escape. But Akatsuki comes to the rescue and saves the kid, and this stupid bitch grills him for being too reckless. We cut to this scene where the medieval people strategizes on tracking down the pink-haired bitch because she's the demon lord's daughter and might cause trouble in the Then the gang, along with the student council retards, goes to the beach as a reward for saving the kid. And of course, this is another ecchi fan service as per. We skip that and cut back to the medieval people, where they figured out that it's Akatsuki who brought back the pink-haired bitch back to his world. And they're trying to figure out how to open the portal back. Then King Arthur here introduces Dr. Phil guy who's from Earth. And his task is to confirm the presence of the pink-haired bitch and eliminate her, along with Akatsuki if he tries to fight back, and consider him as a traitor. But yellow-haired princess defends him and says, "You can't kill him, he's our hero, and he's the reason why our kingdom still stands, and I still want him to impregnate me." Man, fuck your hero. I can't suck his dick for real, and Dr. Phil hero here has a ranch and I wanna make love with him there. Just before Dr. Phil can enter the portal, this white knight challenges him to a duel. He uses his Sigma Male aura to scare him off and he heads to the portal.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
We cut to the school where there is a ranking exam where the students move to a higher class if they perform well and move down if they underperform. Basically, this is just a squad battle royale and the team that wins gets promoted. Then the Fortnite battle royale starts where the gang defends themselves from the other squads and they easily clap their asses. Then the student council retards heard the report that Akatsuki could easily be in their class because his skill is on par with them. Then Vice President Thought gets triggered and goes to the battlefield to challenge Akatsuki's group to a fight. But with his Sigma Male attitude, he challenges them to a 3v1 fight so that his team can rest and prepare for the battle tomorrow. The fight starts and he was unharmed after all the attacks they did. Then Kaido shows up and tells them that there's an intruder in the battlefield and was able to break into the school's barrier. Then an explosion happens on the pink-haired bitch direction and Akatsuki rushes to save her. The next episode starts with a flashback where Dr. Phil found pink-haired bitch. Then the teachers tighten up the security level and we cut back to Akatsuki finding the Lebanese and the lolly and she tells him about Dr. Phil wanting to rape the pink-haired bitch. We then see retarded Onizuka being a hero and tries to fight Dr. Phil and his ass was sent to the ranch.
Send her to the ranch.
But luckily Akatsuki and Kaido was there to help him. Akatsuki continues to search for his bitch. Meanwhile, Dr. Phil corners the pink-haired bitch and was about to rape her. He then explains his plan on using her as a bait to lure out the other demon lords, to bring peace in the other world, so that he can be the greatest hero, and let them make 100 naked statue of him. The bitch cries and Akatsuki arrives just in time before he can whip out his dick. Then the fight between low-budget Guts and low-budget Griffith begins. Then Akatsuki explains his Sanji creed where he can forgive anyone who makes a woman cry. They continue to fight and Dr. Phil explains that he just wants to be the GOAT hero of the other world, so that they can build 100 naked statues statue of him. He managed to caught Akatsuki off guard and uses the pink-haired bitch as a hostage, and tells him to remove one of his armbands to prevent him from using his weapon. Akatsuki then triggers him by saying, "You want to be like Griffith so bad, and you use this poor girl as a bait? What a fucking loser. Go watch some Gary V videos to get motivated, you low-budget Griffith." Dr. Phil attacks him and he manages to block it. He then uses some Steven Seagal Jiu-Jitsu Karate Taekwondo moves and beats him like a meat with his bare hands. Pink-haired bitch runs away to this cliff and Akatsuki chases her, and she says, "Sorry for being a useless character all this time, just like Sakura. See, we have the same pink hair. If I jump onto this cliff, I won't be as useless as her, so goodbye." Akatsuki then saves her and he says that her father wants her to live a normal, happy life, and he entrusted his daughter to him, his mortal enemy, to do that. And dying right now means disobeying her father's wish. He then mouth-sexed her for being a disobedient cunt. He then collapses because of a poison but manages to get back up right away because of his healing bullshit. Then Dr. Phil finds the pair and uses Kaioken to continue the fight. He then transforms into a huge-ass blue-eyes white dragon. Then pink-haired bitch buys some time in order for Akatsuki to heal from the poison. Then the loli and the Lebanese finds Akatsuki and he explains to them the deets. And the pair tries to catch up to the pink-haired bitch because 3 decoys are better than 1. Meanwhile, pink-haired bitch was about to get cocked and was saved by the student council gang. The Lebanese couple arrives and they team up to beat the blue-eyes white dragon.
Nice job, team.
Loli then tells her that they need 30 minutes to buy some time until low-budget Guts recovers. The team fights together but they got pounded. She surrenders and buys time by saying, "Even if you kill me and they'll build 100 naked statue of you, you will never be the GOAT hero because you're just a rapist incel cunt."
Emotional damage!
She was about to get raped but Akatsuki arrives just in time, as per. But now, along with his bat bike, he then fights the blue-eyes white dragon and they were evenly matched.
I could do this all day.
Then blue-eyes white dragon uses some Oppenheimer nuclear bomb move and causes a huge explosion. Akatsuki manages to protect the weaklings and his sword got destroyed in the process. Pink-haired bitch and hot vice president gives their armbands to him. Akatsuki then fights the blue-eyes white dragon and summons an upgraded version of his sword, which is now bigger, thicker, and stronger. And through this, he manages to chop the blue-eyes white dragon in half.
That's a lot of damage!
We then cut to this round table of unlockable EA characters, talking about how Akatsuki beat the blue-eyes white dragon through the power of friendship, and how evil and bad they are.
And when you get to that assembly, you're gonna get big surprise, you Japanese dog.
Then we cut back to the school where Kaido meets up with Akatsuki, and talks about how he helped him with the blue-eyes white dragon fight.
Thank you, kind sir.
Kaido leaves and reports back to his captain on how thick Akatsuki's balls for single-handedly beating the blue-eyes white dragon. We cut back to the medieval people having a meeting about getting attacked by the West Side demons, and also proving Akatsuki's innocence as a hero in their world, and they need him back to save them from another demon attack. The bitch cries and Akatsuki noticed this through his Sanji instinct. Then we get to see the gang along with the hot vice president and Kaido going through the other world to save it. And that's the end of the anime. This anime gets a Batmobile out of an aneurysm.
Breakfast.